We are on Culture Kitchen, Kama Kawaida, and I am so honored to have the one and only Lulu Kitololo. She's a creative communications designer. She owns an amazing studio. She's done it all. She creates worlds. Exactly. Lulu,
yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
How are you
asante.
doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Yes.
I was really looking forward to this conversation.
Me too.
And guys are so excited about, listening to, getting into your world. And, we discuss everything creative, communication.
Yeah.
So for folks who do not know you,
yes,
tell them what you do.
Okay.
And what inspires you to do what you do.
Okay. All right. So I am a creative, and that looks like a few different things.
Right.
So I run a studio where we create art goods and stationery with my hand-drawn illustrations on them.
Right.
And we call it Lulu Kitololo.
Yeah.
And I also run a design agency called Studio Njano, and we work with clients mostly in the spaces of social justice, women's rights, environmental justice, and we create information, visualization, sometimes that's murals, sometimes that's graphic recording, sometimes that's like really visual reports, and we're really driven by wanting to make, the amazing work that they do like accessible to more people and to make an impact. I also founded a festival called AfriLove Fest, yes. And we've been on a hiatus since COVID, but it's coming back this December, and we're doing it in Taita.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to mention, so in June, I'd gathered some creatives that I really respect and admire, and we had this mission, we're going to create a design conference in Nairobi. And so we held that in June, and it went amazing. So now we're looking at other events and resources we can create for our community of creatives. And it's our kind of name is 1 million thriving artists.
Oh, that's amazing. 1 million is a good one.
Yes, that's the goal.
That's a good number.
At least. Yeah.
and you know what? Mm-hmm. While you're speaking, I'm just thinking, you sound very passionate about creating stuff.
Yes.
Has this always been what you wanted to do since you were really young?
So it's interesting because creating stuff, yes, but I didn't necessarily know what that would look like. So I remember as a kid, I would be in the kitchen experimenting. I'd be outside making things with whatever I could find. I was always making stuff, but at that point, I didn't have a vision of, what does this look like in the future? Yeah. And then growing up, it's a few decades ago. So, they weren't really examples that I could look and see, you can be a creative in fashion. You can be a creative in this field. Like back then, we didn't have those examples around, really. So I really didn't know until I think I'm still even figuring it out.
Yeah. It's a never-ending process.
Yeah.
And I'm curious now. Obviously, you have a studio.
Yes.
And what that means to me is storytelling.
Okay. Yeah.
Documenting stories and you're putting them out there.
Yes.
Through design.
Yes.
Yeah. Design work and storytelling.
Yes.
How did that play out?
I think just out of my own curiosity. So, for instance, a lot of the stories I tell are around different aspects of African culture, right? And that just came out of me being interested in different aspects of culture, not just in Kenya, beyond. I'll learn about something and then I'll be like, I want other people to get to know about this thing. And so now using my visual skills or visual tools to be able to tell that story. So I think it's really driven just by my curiosity, my interest, and just wanting, like, our continent is so rich and diverse. There's so much like goodness. So it's just really wanting to bring that out, and so also that we can be proud of who we are and not feel like we have to be something else.
The creative process is such an adventure. No one knows where it leads to. The future it's literally mysterious.
You chose that path.
Yes. when I bet you other guys would be like, see, you could have just chosen the safe one.
Yeah.
A typical 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Work a regular job.
Yeah.
So why didn't you go for the safe one?
I mean, I can't imagine, so for example, when I was in high school and I was very good at all subjects, so people were like, oh, you should be a doctor, you should be an engineer, and all these things.
Right.
And it didn't inspire me, and luckily my parents were supportive, but
right.
So I think it's just, wanting that diversity, that inspiration. Every day is different, every project is different.
Right.
So just really, just wanting the challenge of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, over the years, how has this path changed how you perceive life?
Yeah. I think being a creative teaches you to be really resourceful. That's something that I think I really got from college time. So it kind of builds this confidence that whatever life situation I'm in, I'll figure it out. I'll create, create in the broader sense. I'll create a way to deal with it, to overcome it, to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I can say, the most profound lesson from this path is just knowing that I can handle whatever comes my way.
Right.
Trusting that I can create a path from anything.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Africa is so rich. To me, specifically Nairobi is also very diverse, and it's got people from different backgrounds.
Yes.
And it's especially for the arts, man. I've met with people who create all these worlds, and it's fascinating. So what has Nairobi given you that you couldn't find in any other part of Africa, for example?
And okay, so this is from my limited experience of places I've been.
Right.
But it's like you said, Nairobi is such a melting pot of so many different influences, both I think our vernacular influences as well as international influences, regional influences. It's such a melting pot. So I think out of that you're just gonna have creations that you're not gonna have anywhere else. We're cosmopolitan and we're still tied somewhat to our tradition. So it's when you bring all those things together, the energy is so it's fire.
I know. It's amazing. Because literally, even me, whenever I'm just out here traversing the city, doing my own thing, and then I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Wow. It's it's fascinating. It's such a cosmopolitan space.
Yes.
And that's good. Yeah. And how does it reflect in your day-to-day life? The richness of not just Africa, but Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What really inspires you? For example, is it the typical Boda guy over there?
Yeah.
Or is it the influencers?
Yeah.
Where do you get the inspiration from?
I'm always I think our pop culture is so colorful. How we come up with just phrases and just the Kenyanisms, that you don't find anywhere else.
Right.
And then I'm always, my husband isn't from Kenya, and I'm always trying to translate and interpret things, and it's no, you can't get it the same way. I just think we're such a colorful people. We're so creative. We're really, really creative.
So how do you balance global influences and of course the local ones that you have? How do you make your work authentically African while at the same time having a global touch to your work?
Got you. I think, and this is something that I think I've always strived to do, to present an unexpected or a fresh take on what does it mean to be African, because there's African, the cliche. When you think of African, you might think safari, browns, greens, you know what I mean? There's
the big five.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's always been my personal challenge. How can I showcase us
Yeah.
in a way that people don't expect.
Yeah.
That's not typical. So I think that's where I don't know if I can call it global influence. Let me say modern or contemporary influence comes in. Like just always trying to push what is African.
Right.
What does that mean?
So do you think we're at a point where African design is being fully appreciated globally, or we still have a lot of work to do?
I think we're definitely way further along than 10, 20, 30 years ago. I wouldn't say fully, because I think there's still a lot of tokenism. And I think there's still this expectation that African is going to be a bit inferior when we're creating world-class work in all the dimensions, all the sectors and industries. So I don't think that's appreciated yet. And I think part of it is on us,
What do you mean? Self-hate, maybe? We just have an inferiority complex?
I think so. And and that's why excellence is such a big part of my work. Like, how can I always strive for excellence? Like, not giving myself an avenue to slack because we're in the third world or whatever people want to say. Like, just really holding ourselves to a high standard.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's going to lead me to my next question. I'm curious. For the people who consume your work, even your clients, for example, of course they have feedback. They give you feedback.
Yes.
Now, do you care about reviews, or for you, you're comfortable with whatever you put out there, as long as you know it's excellent, it's good work, that's all that matters, as long as you feel like it's authentic? Or are you open to reviews and they're like, okay, fine, okay, I need to improve this,
Yeah.
So how does that work for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so with the agency, of course, the client has commissioned us for a certain result and their expectations there, and it's a very iterative process. So we will have rounds of critique and feedback, and so that we can like elevate the work to what works. So that's just part of the process, like getting that feedback, constructive feedback, and implement it. For our products, which it's fully our creation and we're putting it out there in the world, it does matter. Feedback matters, because if people don't like it, they're not going to buy it, and then we can't sustain the business, right? So we definitely are open to hearing what people have to say.
I guess there's a thin line between feedback and reviews.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So reviews where it's like, maybe some people think you're not really that African.
Got you.
It's too perfect.
Got you.
Do you care about those types of comments?
No. I mean, because actually, what is African even?
It's true.
Is it because it's made by an African? Is it because it's a certain subject matter? Is it like, it's such a big question, right? So, I'll listen to those comments and hey, everyone has space for their expression.
I like that. Lulu, what's your handle? What's your socials?
My handle is Lulu Kitololo, all one word. That's my main handle.
That's right.
And you can also check out Afrilove Fest. And yes.
Amazing. Oh, for the record, when is it exactly?
December 31st and January 1st.
Yeah,
so
we have to go to Kilifi.
To Taita.
Oh, Taita.
Boy.
Oh, man, look at that. A reason for the road trips.
Yes. Pack your friends, your camping gear. Come. Yeah.
That's amazing. So what's going to go down, by the way, at the festival?
So the festival is all about celebrating creativity, and we are really looking to celebrate creativity across the African continent and the diaspora, so Caribbean as well.
Nice.
The January 1st is Haiti's Independence Day, 222 years. So the first free Black Republic.
Right, yeah.
And we're like, that's something to celebrate,
Totally.
and something for us to learn from each other. So you can expect like all kinds of creative workshops and experiences and food from different places and just good vibes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, back to the conversation.
Yes.
When we talk about your creative process from idea to the finished work,
yes.
let's say you have something you want to work on. So how's your typical day like? You have your work, you've got the pencils, I don't know how, I don't even know how your setup is. So how does it look like, from idea to the actual finished product?
Okay.
Walk us through the whole process.
Okay. Yeah. So like the idea, it's usually, like I said earlier, like just I'm curious about something, right? So it could be like, there's a time where I was really interested in, belief systems from West Africa and how they traveled to the Caribbean.
Right.
And so, just like reading, researching, learning more about that, learned about all these goddesses.
Right.
And then it was looking at, okay, so what are they known for? There's one who's like, she's protects the forests and the animals. And I was like, okay, so, what could somebody who does that look like?
Right.
And then just lots of visual research, which is so much fun. Like I love Pinterest.
Right.
I can spend hours
on
Pinterest.
Yeah.
Yes. So just like collecting visual research, and as you collect them, ideas and threads start forming. Then I love to draw on paper, just at least for ideas.
Right.
So I have this big A3 pad, and I'll be doodling and sketching and just like, creating just whatever's in my mind.
Yeah.
And then now when I'm ready to like give a specific form to something, I'll draw on a tablet these days. A few years ago, I used to draw on paper and then scan it and like old school. But yeah, so I'll draw on a tablet.
Right.
And then I'll transfer that to the computer. And I love color. Like if you see my work, I just love playing with color. So then now I'll just go wild playing with color, experimenting until it sings to me.
I like the fact that you play around with the color and you love color, because some of the works that I've seen with regards to our African history and heritage.
Yeah.
If you look at the African traditional society, we were very colorful.
Yes.
I don't think a lot of people are aware of that.
Yeah.
Right. We played a lot with color.
Mm-hmm.
Our outfits were very colorful. So it's a good thing that you use a lot of color to create your work.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure people. I'm sure some guys are thinking, "Oh, Kevin, it was probably just white." Or the animal skin.
Yes.
But yeah, we had a lot of color.
Yeah, and our nature, like just look around our nature, it's full of color.
That's true.
And so that's like another big inspiration of mine, like just our like tropical environment is beautiful.
Right.
And yeah.
So what do you feel? What do you do rather when you've hit a creative block? You're thinking, "Oh my God, I can't think of anything." You're feeling you're almost now anxious.
Yeah.
You're worried about, what you're going to create. What do you do to feel inspired and,
So first I have to say it's rare, because I think I'm always collecting inspiration in some way or the other. But I can't think of an occasion recently, actually, where I was working on a client project and, I was creating, but something was missing and I couldn't tell what it was. Like I was really stuck. And so teamwork, that's what it is. I just asked another designer on my team. I'm like, look, I've got this, something is missing, take a look. And yeah, within like half an hour, he was like, what about if you do this? And I was like, perfect. And that was it. So I think just collaboration is so powerful. And teamwork. So just leaning into that.
What would you tell a creative out there who's such a perfectionist?
Yeah.
And because of that, they struggle to complete the work.
Yeah.
Because at some point you gotta finish the project.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And for me, it's not even just about like art per se.
Yeah.
But people who build stuff, like even like when you look around you, turns out there's a lot of incomplete work around the city.
Yeah.
Buildings, okay, for some maybe it's a legit reason, like maybe due to finances.
Right.
But just the creation process.
Yes.
A lot of people struggle with completing work because you're thinking, oh my God, and the client is not going to like it. I mean, people are going to judge me badly.
Yeah.
So you have a bunch of incomplete work.
Yes.
What's your advice to people who struggle with perfectionism?
And I think a lot of us creatives do, right? And overthinking. my advice is, and because I've been in this situation myself where I'm stuck because I'm like I've put too high an expectation on myself, and how is it going to turn out? But like you won't know until you do something. Correct. Or you try something, or you put it out there. So my advice is like, the sooner you can put it out there, show it to somebody, right, the sooner you can see what's missing, and then now like bring what's missing. Correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you will never have that access if you just hoard it, hide it.
Yeah.
So the sooner you show your work,
right,
the sooner you get feedback, the sooner you can iterate until it's where you want it to be.
Yeah. So how do you stay? When I have, obviously, having this conversation with you gives me the impression that you're very grounded. You have a very positive mental attitude. You're always smiling.
Thank you.
How do you? I guess how do you stay so chill and so grounded? Especially in such a high pressure world, a very fast paced world that we're living in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good question. How do I stay grounded? I have various practices over time. Like being in nature is one of them. Walking in the forest. Nairobi, we're so lucky we have these great forests that you can access.
Yeah.
Being in nature, journaling, things like that, moving my body, just these practices, like wellness practices that kind of keep me grounded. And then just having like, a good community of people around you that you can be in communication with. So there are moments where I'm frantic, like I'll go to my husband and I'll cry, I'm overwhelmed.
I can imagine.
And then once it's out, it's like, okay, now we can just get present.
Yeah. So you mentioned community.
Yeah.
It got me thinking about collaboration.
Yes.
And partnerships.
Yes.
Very important for creatives.
Yes.
So in case somebody wants to partner with you or collaborate in one way or the other, what do you look out for?
So like people who are like-minded in terms of values, some of my core values personally and, now by extension for my businesses and everything is, community, creativity, excellence, and just like, let me call it, I like to call it kindness. So, and what that means to me is like kindness to yourself, first of all, kindness to others, kindness in terms of like being mindful of our environment.
Correct.
Like, so, people who share those values, that's like the first, criteria for collaboration. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, when all is said and done, I'm going to ask you about legacy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What sort of impact do you hope to leave behind?
Yeah.
In this whole Kenyan experience,
Yeah.
How do you want to be remembered?
Yeah. It's really down to, I would love to be remembered for having made a contribution to our creative industry, not just in Kenya, across Africa.
Right.
And that's where that 1 million thriving artists thing came from. Like, I would love to know that I have contributed to, millions of artists being able to make a living doing what they do, being able to make an impact, a positive impact from what they do, being valued, being respected, and causing the transformation that we know creatives can.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a girl listening to you right now.
Oh.
And she's probably in the car with her mommy. She's like, "Mommy, I wanna be like Lulu when I grow up." What's your advice to young women who are just getting into this whole space of design work? Yeah. Yeah. What would you tell them?
I would tell them first, really take the time to find your voice, your creative voice. Don't feel like you have to fit into a certain box, and it's going to take time and experimentation and exploration and failing and getting back on. But, it's so fulfilling and rewarding. Right. And also, like, I think there's a stereotype that creatives, we just want to be zen and create and express ourselves. But the reality, like, you have to have entrepreneurial mindset or cultivate one, you know? And so not neglecting that, like really, really get present to what it takes to, if you want to make a living doing this, you know, really like be present to what you need to do, how you need to educate yourself, what you need to put in place, how you know, stand for what you deserve, you know your value, all of those things. So that's something that people should not neglect, and not to buy into that, either the starving artist cliche or that, you know, creatives are flaky or all these, like, I remember one time I was going to, I think it was an interview or something, and the person I was dealing with was like, okay, so, you know, you need to be here by 7 a.m. It was something like that. And then he's like, oh, but you're creative. You people don't wake up until 10.
What?
I was like, what? I was so offended.
I can imagine.
Like, there's this picture that creatives are lazy and all that. So, like, you know, so what I would also say to that young woman is, like, don't buy into any of that. Like, we're professionals, like any other profession.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, by the way, on that point.
Yeah.
For creatives out there, there's a lot of misconceptions about them.
Yeah.
And, but at the same time, like you said, you shouldn't buy into the whole, the starving creator.
Yeah.
But if your work is not paying you, first of all, I feel like you shouldn't bully your work and force it to pay you. You should just create because you're inspired to create. At the same time, do you think it's important for a creative, at least while they're creating, if you have to, then you should probably get a day job while you're starting out? Do you think it makes sense?
So you brought up such a good, like, distinction, I think, right? Because first, okay, I believe everyone is creative. It's just some people haven't found their expression, right? But then you have to make a decision, like, do I want to create just for the joy it brings me? Or is this how I want to make my living? And then you go from there, right? Like, if you just want to do it for fun, for amazing, and have your other career that, you know, puts food on the table and stuff. But if you do want to, like, make it your full-time thing and make a living from it, I think it is wise, like, in the beginning, to have other means of income so that you're not desperate. Right. You know, because I know that's like when I quit my job and then I was like, okay, I'll take any work that comes my way because I need it. And, you know, at that time, so I made some decisions which, you know, in hindsight, okay, maybe I wouldn't have made those decisions if I didn't have that pressing need that I need to pay rent this month. So definitely, if you can have something that gives you the freedom to explore, experiment, find your voice before now that can sustain you completely. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, you got to live with dignity.
Yeah.
You need a sense of dignity. You need sanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you make a lot of sense. And, you know, I'm curious, by the way, you mentioned, of course, you've got your own family going on. You're a mother, you're a wife.
Yes.
How has this creative world or process changed how you look at family?
How has it changed how I look at family? That's, you know, I don't know if these are connected, but I think they are, right? Like, just being really open-minded.
Right. There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way things should look. Like, we create what our family looks like. We create what our rituals are. You know, we create how we look at the world. So I think they're connected.
Yeah, totally. They make a lot of sense. You're open to, you know, new ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, my son's favorite color is pink.
Oh,
and then
nice.
One day he came home and he's like, the girls are telling me I can't like pink. I was like, that's nonsense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So what color describes your current mood right now?
My current mood?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think I'm known for yellow.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
But right now, orange is calling to me, and it's not because I'm singing.
Are you sure it's not because of the studio? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have a friend who's really big on color and the meanings behind color, and
Right.
I think she talks about orange as like a power.
Yeah.
A power, like when we're feeling powerful.
Yeah.
Like orange.
That's good stuff. I like
lines.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it describes the studio as well.
Yes.
Final question.
Uh-huh.
I want you to complete the sentence.
Okay.
Creativity to me is...
Oh my goodness. Okay. Creativity to me it's everything. It's really like being free, being powerful. It's creating something from nothing. It's bringing
Right.
things to life. Yeah, creativity is bringing things to life.
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Totally. You know,
Yes.
a friend of mine told me it's because of creatives that we can almost imagine how heaven looks like. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, they can paint all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because like imagination is everything, right?
Correct,
Like that's
correct.
how everything comes into being.
Yeah.
And I think creatives in all disciplines, like they
Yeah.
help us
Yeah.
give shape to
Yeah.
what's possible.
It's true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming through, Lulu.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the conversation.
Me
So what's your contact information in case somebody wants to partner, share your story,
Yeah.
visit your studio?
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can on Instagram, you can find me at Lulu Kitololo, at Afrilove Fest. Our shop is actually in Loresha Shopping Center in
Nice.
Nairobi.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. 7 days a week, it's open. You can
Nice.
come through to the festival in
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
And you can also reach me on studio at lulukitololo.com for
love it.
any
Yeah.
collaboration.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Thank you.